Jackson, request a live for me, please. Hey, everybody that's coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Could you request your live, Jackson, so I can put you in? Music Mondays with Terri. Hey, Otis. Hey, Otis.
Yo.
Jackson Chery.
Shitty, that is funny.
What's up, bro?
What's up, Terry? How are you?
Good. Hat game always tight.
Yeah, I just finished shooting a video for my sister that's about to come out. So like
Wait, you're supposed to be quarantined. You're always working. See, that's one of our topics for today. How hard you work.
I mean, I shot the video in my crib.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I had
That's safe.
yeah.
That's
I had
safe.
the whole
That's safe.
I had the whole setup and stuff.
You're so dope. We're gonna
Oh
talk
man.
about how dope you are today.
Oh man.
We're gonna give just like 1 minute, maybe even less, for people to come on in. Come on in the room, guys. Welcome to Music Mondays with Terri Cann.
Yo,
Share
pull
your
up
live,
guys.
share your live, share your live.
I'm going to share some secrets and some things I've never said before. That's what I'm gonna try to do. But because all the time I go live, there's but so much you can say in each live.
I know.
And
I'm
you
gonna
know,
be right here on mine today.
and hopefully your questions steer me to those areas.
And even if they don't,
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to.
even if they don't, I'm gonna give you a minute to go in. You know what I mean? And we're gonna hear what the audience has to say also.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Guys, hello, hello, hello. Hey, Trinita Professor. Welcome everybody coming in the room. Share, share, share. We are about to start. You know, Instagram is disrespectful. They will cut you off at 59 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. So I'm like I said, I'm about to we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna try
I
to.
cannot wait. Let me just pin this real quick. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. That's my song. How's the family? How are those gorgeous babies that you
Oh,
have?
they good. They doing better than me. To them, they don't know what's going on out there. They're just living their best life. Listen, they're
Tell me
living
about it.
they're living their best life. All they know is that they got a balcony.
Right. And that is a blessing. At least they can get some air.
Yo, let me tell you, it's right now. I know how much of a blessing this balcony is. Without this balcony, I probably lost my mind.
I hear you. I hear
So
you.
it gives me an opportunity, to step away.
Of course. Of course, of course, of course. All right, let's jump into it. Welcome everybody to Music Mondays with Terri Cann. We have our guest for tonight, the one, the only Jackson Chery. You gotta put that, flair on it. Thank you so much for joining with us. I'm honored, really, really honored to have you. I say this, and this may be taken the wrong way. Like, I don't get starstruck by celebrities because I feel like the only difference between me and you is a piece of paper. I'm gonna get there one day, hallelujah. But when it comes to you, Mr. Jackson, and I'm not saying this because you are my brother, I get a little starstruck because I have been there. I feel like I've been there since the beginning, and I have seen this grind that you have been on. So I love to start my lives going way back to the beginning. I'm talking, it was 2003 or 2004. I was trying to remember properly.
Wow.
We were at Winterfest.
Right.
Right? And I was singing background for Danielle Lewis. You were her manager at that time.
Wow.
Me and Lala, we were out there singing the background for Danielle Lewis. You were managing Danielle. You were managing Amonte Lacey. That was like the biggest crowd that I've ever sung at in my BGV career, right? Then we were having concerts. I remember the coach bus to Montreal, that
Oh,
concert,
wow.
David Matea.
Wow.
We
Wow.
go way
You're going way
back.
back.
So if people think that you just started, let me tell you something. No, 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 no. So I want to talk a little bit about how you started, when you started, this journey that you've been on. We're in 2020. Again, I'm talking about 2003, 2004. You've been doing this and been doing it well.
What up, Annie? Stay on, Annie. I don't want Annie to hear this, but go ahead. I have some cool people that join. I want them to stick around to hear the story
Hey
because I don't
guys,
get to
please
do it.
stick around. Please stick around.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, so yes, you go ahead. I want to hear from your beginning. How did this all start? This journey from,
Oh
I'm
man.
saying 2003. I'm sure you started even before then. That's just when I jumped on.
All right. Let me try to give you the journey without the stories. Okay.
Oh man, the stories are the
Yeah.
good part though.
I know, but the stories are so long. Each year
Okay.
has a sea of stories. I have stories where I almost died. I had stories. I had so many like stories on the road. But I'll start by saying how this all started. Is I always had you know what I mean. First of all, I'm the youngest of a ton of kids.
Mm-hmm.
So from young, my parents never had enough to give me more than I needed.
Wow.
You know, they always gave me what I needed, but I never got what I wanted. So I wound up, you know, learning that what I needed and what I wanted, there was a thin line between the two. You
Mm.
know, and
Say
so
that.
what I wanted started to learn how to do is work towards what I want. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
always be at what I need, you know? So, you
Right.
know, so what happened is in 2003,
Okay.
oh my God, I have stories. 2003, I had a vision to do a
Can't
basketball
wait for
game.
this biopic.
You know, I had to do a vision for a basketball game, and it'll show you how I started having beef with people for years for no reason, like, and how things happen and the development of conversation. You know, so first situation, and I will tell you my first beef as well. So,
Okay. Oh
yeah,
boy.
2003, and the first thing I want to say is that every idea you have, ladies and gentlemen, always understand that 7 other people in the world have the same idea. It's a real statistic. So whatever idea you have,
Wow.
7 other people have the same exact idea. The difference between
Mm.
you and them is who's going to execute it and who's going to execute it well. Okay? Just like
Yes.
anybody can
Yes.
sing a song, but who's going to cause you to remember it, right? You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm.
you know what I mean? And another fact about it is everybody probably thought, you know, Tasha Cobbs wrote "Break Every Chain," which she didn't. It was out years before that.
No.
But until she sang it,
Right.
you didn't remember it, right? So
Right. Right.
going back to this basketball game, so I remember, you know, we were not my friend, but we were really cool. And I remember I told her I wanted to do a basketball game, and you know, I was, you know,
Okay.
I'm into basketball. Anybody know me? I'm the guy that never made it to the NBA. Okay, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Or never played pro ball for real the way I wanted to. And
I didn't know that.
she always wanted to do. Yeah, I coached actually between that 2003 and 2005. 2003 and 2009. I got probably three Brooklyn championships with coaches teams I used to coach. Yeah, I was in it. Like some of my players
Nice.
are here. There's guys right now that got to play overseas that I coached. Like Nigel, I
Awesome.
coached them and they played. Nigel represented Grenada against USA, and I coached him.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Matter of
Okay.
fact, I see my man Anthony pulled up. Anthony
Hey,
pulled up,
Anthony.
and I remember my team killing Anthony's team in a tournament too, his church tournament.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
I was outside, you heard? So, you know, Anthony's my man, one grad from young anyway. So I wind up, me and the young lady was talking about ideas, what I wanted to do, but she wanted to do a fundraiser for her church. With me, I wasn't
Okay.
doing a fundraiser for a church. I was getting ready for a vision I knew nothing about. You know what I'm saying? I was just, you know what I mean? And most of the time when God got you doing things, it's bigger than you. You see what I mean? My man Anthony's
Definitely.
just pulled up, man. First responder, number one. It's too smooth for school. Ladies, do not follow this fool, all right? He's too
Oh
smooth for
God.
school. Yeah, so all of a sudden, now I'm ready to get this basketball tournament done. You have a vision, I got a vision. But we never thought about how we're gonna make this vision together because you're trying to do a fundraiser for your church. I'm trying to do a Brooklyn versus Queens thing. So she wants a tournament. I want a Brooklyn versus Queens game.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we spoke about it. She was like, "Oh yeah, cool." And I'm talking about it, but I'm not a talker. I'm a talker and doer. Or I can talk and do, or I can say nothing and do. Either way, I'm gonna get it done.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
You know,
Yes.
so long story short, I went and turned around and got. I was like, I want to get a tournament going. I had no money. I remember I had $33.
Boy.
I had $33, and out of the $33, I said, "Okay, cool. How do I do this?" And remember, everything I've done, there's no manual book, no one sat to teach me. I didn't get a mentor up until maybe 2-3 years ago. You know what I mean? Like a mentor that was tangible, not looking at Diddy, not looking at Jay-Z. I'm talking about a mentor that's gonna say Jackson stop or Jackson good, blah blah blah.
Right.
So I went and got this $33. I was like, oh man, it's not how much money you got, it's how you spend it. So I said, quit. So I turned around and said, you know what? I'm gonna figure this out. So I went to Quick Print, which Quick Print was on Flatbush and Farragut. Okay.
Shout out to
Flatbush and Flag. I'm a Flatbush East 21st. You heard? You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
So I know. I'm sorry for Terri Conn's bougie crowd. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. You know she's from Ghana. But anyway, so now you know what I mean? So now I turned around and went to this print shop, and I got basketball. I got tickets printed for $33. Okay. But before I did that, I went to Nazareth High School. I went to Sylvia was shaking. I went to no St. John's party here. Keep it pushing. So I went to
all right. Watch that.
I went to Nazareth High School, and I said, I want to get a gym. And Nazareth High School was like, the gym's gonna be $300 for the night. I was like, great, I don't have $300, but the date was available. Then I went to this place on Farragut and Rockaway, which was a block away from the precinct. They used to print jerseys. Okay. So I went to them and I said, you know what? How much would it be to print jerseys that says Queens and jerseys that says Brooklyn? And it was just like, for all the jerseys with numbers, and the print up front is gonna cost $275. I was like, great. We're talking about a whole bunch of numbers that I just don't got, but I just knew I had $33. So the name of the game is, how do I make $33 multiply to get everything else going? Right. So remember, and guys, wake up. This is before social media. This is flyers. This is flyers. This is door to door. This is absolutely. So now I turned around and went to the spot and the print spot, and I printed tickets. When I printed the tickets, then I started hitting up homies one-on-one. Yo, what's up, man? I got a basketball game. Do you want to play?
Yeah.
Then I started charging I charged each player $15 for their jersey to play in the game. Then don't forget, I had to get trophies. I got trophies made. I got all these things made. So I sold enough tickets to be able to pay for the jerseys, pay for the place, play for the jerseys, the place, and the trophies. So now, after I got my first set of $300, I gave my deposit for the place. Then I got my next $300. I paid for the jerseys. Then I paid for the trophies. Then at the end of the game, after I left after the $33, the first $33 I spent, I had a result of a profit of $850. So the whole $33 from $33. So now here comes industry beef. So now this young lady finds out, Jackson did a basketball tournament. This is my very first industry beef. Oh my God, that was my idea.
Of course.
Your idea? Or maybe at the very least, our idea. I told you I was getting ready to do a game. I told you I wanted to do, but we had two different visions. Jackson took my idea. I said, oh my God. So from there, I had to start learning how to separate feeling, business, personality, all these things. I had to learn how to. I was like, you know what, Jackson, I'm gonna make a choice. So what I did is I learned damage control early in the game. So I gave it an opportunity. I said, listen, all right, it was your idea. Here, I can give you this amount of money off the strength of saying it was part of your idea. And the second thing is, I'm gonna do another one-day tournament, and what I'm gonna do is give you the opportunity to become my 50% partner. What do you think she did? Came on board?
Invested.
Hell
Invested, of
no.
course.
Of course, that's what I would have thought. She left me hanging.
Right.
She was just like, nah, your vision doesn't match mine. Okay, fine. I kept it pushing. Now from there, this is 2003, 2000. You know, in my job, I'm so young trying to figure this out. Then from that
Yes.
$850, I did my first concert. I did my first
Yes.
concert at Emmanuel Church of God on Flatbush. When I did my
Flatbush
first,
again, yes.
when I did my first concert at Emmanuel Church of God on Flatbush, I turned around and used that 850, wound up getting artists that wound up flipping into like, I think maybe after paying everybody out, I left at a profit of maybe 22, maybe not, I'll be lying, like maybe 1,200. From the 1,200, then from there then I did my very first fashion show. Then my fashion show, and I can go on with those, and then step back a little bit. That's when I realized I met Danielle Lewis. That was an incredible artist, but had no real management and had no
Right.
support. Then that's when I turned around and I became Danielle Lewis' first manager. You know what I mean? And so that Danielle. So in my career, I did. I got Danielle Lewis. Then I got Soleil, that was Natalie and Vanessa. Soleil, okay. Then from Soleil, I wound up managing. Then I wound up doing booking manager for Jovita Shepherd. So Jovita Shepherd that you guys seen at TBN and everybody.
Yes,
oh my God, Jack! People was like, Jackson, let me introduce you to Jovita Shepherd. I was like, I feel like Babyface and Teddy Riley. I was just like. I gave that baby face, like, how old were you when I knew Jovita? You know how Teddy tried to play him on the low. You know what I mean? Babyface tried to play him on the low, like, how old are you? 10 or 12. You know what I mean? And I was like, were you even saved when I met Jovita Shepherd type thing? And so it was cool. So I had Jovita Shepherd. Then then from Jovita Shepherd, I started doing booking management for Double Edge. Double Edge, right?
I did not remember that. I loved Double Edge.
From Double Edge. Then I'll give you some horror stories. Then from there, I was doing creative direction for Esther and Friends. Then I became David Matei's first overall manager as well.
Yes, we were on that bus together.
Then we went to Montreal, and this is me trying to give mad stories and the bits and pieces. Then I had Amante Lacey. Then from Amante Lacey was the first reason I practically lost all my groups. Because every last group felt like I gave Amante Lacey way too much attention.
Oh, okay.
Then from there, Jovita was like, yo, Jack, I'm out, fam.
Were you playing favorites, Jackson? Be honest.
It's so deep because, and please ask me uncomfortable questions, please. It will make this even better. And you know what? and it was even about favorites. It was all of a sudden, I already knew the term cash cow without me understanding the phrase cash cow. Wow. I learned cash cow in college, but I was in high school already performing a cash cow. So what happened is that I realized I was ahead of my time. And everybody else was still behind. If at that time all those groups had any kind of spin to their brain in that area, what they would have done, it was allow Amante Lacey to be the person that tugged everybody along. So what I did is I used Amante to drag everybody along because Amante already had some kind of clout. He already had some kind of clout. He already had, and he was fresh to New York. So what it caused me to do, it caused my booking. I was already busy, but it caused my booking numbers to go ballistics.
Yes.
So now people that didn't know about Danielle found out about Danielle. People that didn't know about Jovita found out about Jovita. So through Amante. So at this point, Amante became my Kevin Durant.
Gotcha.
At the end of the day, Golden State Warriors was great with Steph Curry and all these people. But once Durant came about, they knew that was a guaranteed championship.
Into a whole nother level.
So I had that same mindset before I even had the ability to be honest with you. So Amante, so it seemed like favorite, but no, the phone rang for him more. They seem like favorite, but
Right.
no, but he was the one that, how can I say, he played the guitar.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and remember, it
And he
was
had a
coming
whole
out,
different sound
he had a different sound, and because he played the guitar, he was cheaper to book because he can just show up with his guitar by himself.
as opposed to a whole band. Got you.
Right. Then, so, you know,
Mm-hmm.
then that, and I'll never forget it, and I'll air out this story. So,
Oh Lord.
this one is another one that I said I'll share with live. So
Okay.
check this out. Which Danielle Lewis, if you watch this later, I love you, because
Shout out to Danielle.
me and Danielle's relationship is so great, and it's funny. She married a
Thank
dude that's
God.
really similar to me. You know what I mean? Dre, like, you know, like we have a
Yes.
very similar personality, very honest, and
Yes. Yes, you do.
yeah, and
Love
check
you,
this
Dre.
out. So check this out, and this is a story you're gonna experience. I remember so a year and a half ago, I got a phone call. So Danielle Lewis was in one of the ones I lost because of Amante, right?
Okay.
I got a phone call from one of the members, and I'm not gonna say his name, but I will tell you later on because I could get sued for defamation of character.
Yes, of course.
So I get a phone call from one of the bandmates apologizing to me. Danielle Lewis's band, one of the bandmates apologizing to me. And I said to him, and I didn't understand why he was apologizing, but he said to me, "Yo, bro, I won't be," and shout out to him and kudos to him too. And because of like that, I'll always rock with him because he was able to do that. He said, "Bro, I want to apologize for trying to ruin your name in the community, in the American community, when you did nothing
Ooh.
wrong to me." I was just like,
Wow.
he said, he goes as far as this. He said, "You remember when Danielle Lewis no longer wanted you to manage her?" I was like, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
That was like I was shocked. He said, "It's
Mm-hmm.
because I had told the band you kept the money from Winterfest."
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It's because I lied and I told him you fed
And
Amante, you fed Amante like food while you turned around and gave us pizza. So could you imagine, Jack? Yo, man, I thank God
wait.
for, yo, man. Could you imagine? So he went and started
But
rumors.
I was there. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So he did that. He told Amante, he told people that I was keeping the money, and poor people, they went to listen to someone that someone's mind that wasn't even developed yet. You see what I'm
Wow.
saying? So because of that, it was deep because I did lose Danielle at the time.
Yeah.
And literally, I didn't hear this truth until a year and a half ago, which I recently shared with Danielle. Danielle was so much in shock. Danielle kept saying sorry
What?
Danielle couldn't stop saying sorry. This is recently, like a year and a half ago. Danielle's like, "I'm so sorry, Jax. I'm so sorry, Jax." And I was just like, "Yo, that's to me." I was like, "Yo, that's life, man." But I was hurt. But I was glad because I was like, "Yo, fire." You know what I mean? Like people can come out their cocoon and be real. You know what I mean? And what I realized right then and there is like I was like, dang, how many other things you said or other people said,
Right.
and I don't even have the ability to go back to these people. Which this year was the year that I spent my time learning to not want validation from people, but self-validation, right? So one of my journeys was no longer trying to clear my name for things I know I never done. God will do that, and my success will be louder than what you ever said.
Come on, you getting into my questions, but go ahead. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. You know what I mean? Let me ask you a question. Go.
Yeah. So real quick, I need the people to understand how many things you really do, because I think some people just know you as like Jackson, right? Like the drummer that cut off his dreads, or Jackson the manager, or Jackson that has his wedding band. Could you give me a bullet list of Jackson Chery?
Oh man. So first of all, let's talk about the multiple college degrees that I got. You know what I mean? Which is part of my unsung. A lot of people's like, "Yo, Jackson, I'm like, yeah, I definitely went to college. I went to school.
Right.
And shout out to you that went to school, and shout out to you that didn't go to school and making it happen.
Indeed.
The reality is that, I went to college with what college did to me. It taught me authority, and it groomed me. Where there was times as a musician already touring at the age of 17, you felt like you was invincible. You was invincible until you get to college and the professor fails you anyway with your drumsticks. I've experienced this, that, I own Common Artists, which is a production record label. Okay.
Yes.
I own Common Artists, and under Common Artists, then you have Bridging the Gap, and then you have IET Band, which is a wedding band agency that provides band for the music industry, but more so like corporate, the celebrity weddings, the celebrity corporate parties.
Say that again. So we can't afford him, guys. That's what he's saying. The celebrity.
No, you can. There's a whole stimulus package out there. So and there's an SBA loan. Just apply.
Now you can afford him. I got you.
But so one of the biggest things for me is that I always worked with people because I love people, man. And the other day, I was realizing my love for people. Then leading into this year, then I read into the verse of when Jesus said to Peter, "If you love me, feed my sheep." And I was like, you know what, this makes sense.
Wow.
Because I love people so much. I've been always be a people person. Then I've always been an investor. I used to like hustles. People never knew. I used to buy and sell cars for about 8 years.
What?
I used to. You ever been in Queens or Brooklyn? You see a car that says, "Call me $5,000."
Yeah.
I had many cars on the street like that.
You were flipping cars.
I used to flip cars to do a concert. I would flip cars. I mean, I would buy them, and I'm telling you, I would like a concert would be Friday, and I have $6,000 to pay the balance, and I buy a car on Monday, and hope is gone by Thursday. I lived on that kind of edge. I lived on the balcony hanging. Yeah, I did that for years. I was part owner of a Puerto Rican restaurant back in 2014 called Casa Ventura on 7th and 3rd by Methodist Hospital. So, and as we speak, I have a lot of different things like that, that's going. So my hands is always tied into different things that will help me build for the community, because sometimes you really think it's one thing that you need to do, and you need to do multiple at the same time. But and it's not necessarily multiple struggling things. You want to find it to be multiple things that's actually helping, and that goes back to the word cash cow. When you find which one is successful, you use that to lead everything else.
Indeed. And you're also a producer. Shout out to Jackson.
Yeah. Production is the main thing I do. Producing is the main thing I do. I consider myself, which is a name I got from a friend of mine, a music architect. That's more of what I am. I'm a musical architect, and why I say architect is because the reason I say architect is the reality is that you cannot. An architect, by the way, never sheetrocks. An architect never put up the frame. He doesn't do plumbing. He doesn't do electricity. He doesn't do roofing. He doesn't do tiles. He doesn't do painting. He doesn't do interior designing. All he does is put a blueprint and make sure all the proper people fixate around the blueprint.
Right.
And I always tell you this: try to build something. Try to build a house without a proper architect. Period. And for me, what I realize about, and you ever been to a house or someone's home or someone's restaurant, and you're like, who built this?
Yeah.
Like, who did this? The question is never really who built this. It's who created this blueprint. Because the builder has nothing to do with the blueprint. He's going to build on top of whatever the blueprint is. So if you're talking about the quality of the house, then you're talking about the developer, not the builder. You see what I'm saying? So it's like there's so many tiers, and that's how it is for me with music when it comes to production. Putting the proper people involved and making sure everybody can eat and everybody could get in on it.
That's good. Selfless plug-in. Jackson produced my song Until the Whole World Knows, which came out exactly 1 year ago today. Shout out to Jackson Chery for that.
Yes, Until the Whole World Knows, man. And,
yes.
And here's what's cool about Terri when was doing that record. It's like Terri, if some of you guys know, is she's part her family's part from Ghana, right? Part Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know what I mean? And I was like, Terri, you might as well tap into where where your roots are, like for real,
Yeah.
and being part how do you say your people again?
Ghanaian.
Ghanaian. I wanted to say it
Ghanaian,
right.
yeah.
I have mad respect. Part
I
Ghanaian
appreciate you.
and part American. I didn't want to. You know how people stay trying to mess it. They be like, "Hey, Jackson, are you Creole? What?
I got
You'll
you.
you'll speak Haitian. I don't.
I got I understand totally.
Yep.
Now I want to, speaking of culture, I got to talk a little bit about Haiti because you rep Haiti hard,
Right.
right? And let me tell you, I have the utmost respect for Haitians. I went to a Catholic high school and a Catholic college where everybody was Haitian. Shout out to Christ the King. Shout out to St. John's
You went to
University.
Christ the King?
I went
Word.
to Christ CK all day, every day. And everyone actually thought I was Haitian. I'm like, no, I'm Haitian by association because everybody is Haitian. And let me tell you a few things I love about Haitians. Haitians, they can cook. Amen.
Facts.
Haitians are one of the most unified people that I have ever seen. Okay,
Right.
if you got one Haitian, you got a whole crowd of them behind you. You guys will rally together. Shout out to Farrah Lewis.
Then beat each other up. That's funny.
Okay. Shout out to Farrah Lewis. Okay.
Absolutely.
I love the way you guys
and
rallied
quick and
behind
interesting, Farrah Lewis started Lakai Entertainment with me.
What?
Farrah Lewis was my assistant from 2003 to 2008.
That is amazing. And she's amazing.
Yeah, she's always had a
You
heart for
know,
the community, for sure.
yes.
So whatever she's doing now, she's not learning it. She's literally just pressing play. Yeah.
I got it. And I mean, you guys have some of the great. We got Sam Pierre. I went to college with Sam Pierre.
Sam Pierre, SP, that's respect.
Jeff Lindor. I mean, we can go on, and I'm really, really so blessed to know you all. But one thing that I really love about Haitians is Haitians can worship.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Right.
So I want to get to bridging the gap. I call you the Kirk Franklin of
that's hilarious.
The Haitian Kirk Franklin, because what you have always been an innovator is one thing I've always admired about you. But when Bridging the Gap came out, the healing room, it was like, and I feel like we had a conversation before, and you were like, we need to bring back the hymns because the hymns is where it's at. And I was like, go for it. But I didn't expect what you did. I want to know, what was your vision behind Bridging the Gap? Why, and how?
I'll say this, right? A few things. Number one, I never realized what I was doing for Monte, for Danielle, for Jovita, for Ty Tribbett, for Molly Music, for all these people. I never knew that stuff was preparing me for a lane that I was getting ready to create.
Wow.
My ability to apply all these skills in a new lane. I didn't know. Like when I tell people, it's like, I've been at this. And like what you've been saying, and Bridging the Gap, I don't want to call it an accident, but clearly it was purpose by design, but I want to call it pure. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say I want to call it pure, because what's happening was never planned. Healing, honestly, when I left, which it's not, there's not enough time for me to tell you one of my horror stories that made me leave.
We might come back for a second hour, Jackson.
After my management, my breakdown with Monte Lacey and Ty Tribbett, which made me despise at some point CCM.
We're gonna talk about that.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, which I left. I didn't think I would ever do gospel music ever again in my life.
Wow.
I was like, I'm done with these fools. I called them fools. I called them idiots. I was like, yo, y'all, this is fake. This can't be real. This ain't about Jesus. Then out of nowhere, I was at church and I was giving offering. And because I was always been a giver. I'm originally from Cortell Youth Church of God, and Francois was giving an offering, and Francois was like, you know what I mean, and I was a giver again, because my brother taught me, never give to be blessed, give because you're blessed, because if you got it, you're already blessed. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So when I went and gave, Francois said, that thing you always wanted to do, it's now time. And
Okay.
Sam Pierre that was playing keyboard, Bishop, he was
Mm-hmm.
playing a melody. He was a big
Mm-hmm.
melodist, you know what I mean? You know, and I
Mm-hmm.
was just like, oh my God, the Creole Project.
Whew.
And funny thing is that me and Sam Pierre was supposed to do this something similar when we were like 14 years old. We wanted to do a whole bunch of hymns and stuff like similar, and go to each
Wow.
church and sell the CDs for $2.
Oh.
And because we was like, yo, we can give them the answer. We have the answer. And not knowing
Oh
that
my
God was preparing
God.
me for this. So the healing room, let me tell you, it's a
Oh,
blessing. It's pure. It's real. You know, and it's, you know what I mean, with Jackson, you get what you get. With everybody on stage, you get what you get. We stay away from certain things to try to fixate us to look like God. We're like, no, man,
right.
we're vessels. We're being used by Him, and we want to be in His will, not in His way. You know what I mean? We wanna make sure that we're doing things according to Him. And we look to two big visions that cling on to what we're doing these days more than ever is to help discover and recover. You know what I mean? And discover is one people. Oh shoot, I need to know who Jesus is for real. And
Yes.
recover the
Yes.
people that done backslide. It was like, I don't want to do this no more. And I'm like, yo,
Wow.
don't do religion, do Jesus. If you do Jesus, what it will do, it will give you, and don't do Jesus white with green eyes. Jesus that's
Come
no. You know, visit
on.
let his Holy Spirit visit you so you can remove color. Okay.
My
And it's not
God.
to, and don't get me wrong, I know, you know, anybody know me, I'm pro black, Jesus is black, blah, 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 you know,
Yes.
for a
Yes.
fact.
Yes.
But I don't want you sitting there defending a color. You know what I mean? I want you
Right.
more so, I want you defending a principle. You know what I mean?
Good.
I want you defending a ground. So that's that. We're bridging the gap. So with bridging the gap is deep because we got, you know, in a short period of time, people might think, oh my God, Jackson got so big in so big a time. But if they listen to this live now, you'll realize I've been at this for over 15 years. So
Correct.
this is just
Correct.
part of the timeline. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And even with bridging the gap, I saw some stuff where I was like, I've put in over $500,000 down into bridging the gap. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the reality is that even if bridging the gap made $1,000,000 today, all I would be doing is getting my money back, not making a profit yet. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's like, yeah, yo, Jackson, I want to come out with an album. I'm like, is this a passion project or you want money? Well, you know what I mean?
Right.
I have artists I spoke to, and it's like, yeah, I want to be able to make my money back. All right, so don't do an album yet. Well, until God speaks to your heart. Because why? Is because if you think this is gonna bring you money back, you know, you're in trouble. Cann, what's up, Pastor Gabe? Is one of my guys right here. He's from Montreal, man. A great
God
dude,
bless you, Pastor
great
Gabe.
pastor, amazing dude. You know what I mean? So, you know, and so for me, it's again, if you're looking to get your money back, that's not a bad thing. That's what you should do on the business side. But if you don't get the money back, you stop. That's when it's a
Mm.
problem. To be honest with you, according to
Hmm.
money, I should have stopped after the second album. I should have said I'm good. After the third
Right.
album, I should have said, how about this? The fourth album, what people don't know, not only it cost me thousands of dollars for that initial day, that one day recorded cost me about 10 grand. Just everyone in the room.
I believe it. I
And
believe
now
it.
$10,000. And not only that, let me tell you what happened. You see the files? The
Mm-hmm.
files was left at the studio for months, and it got so cold. Listen to this. It got so cold where the freezer freezed the files, and the whole thing was ruined. Could you imagine everything
I
that
don't
we
want to.
recorded? Yeah, and
I
guess
don't
what I
want
had
to.
to do? So I had to, Sam. Now I'm on my band. Like, yo, Wes, we gotta fix this because not only it was a great spiritual movement. Number two, I spent thousands of dollars to create this. But and so what we had to do is out of nowhere, you know, shout out to Sam that worked hard. That's my ace. That's my guy. You know what I mean? I give him a
Shout
kidney
out
if
to
you need it.
Sam.
You
You'll
know what I'm
love me
saying?
again.
Literally, yo, yeah, you know the vibes. Literally, I get that boy a kidney if I had to. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, you know, like he literally, we had to pay close to $3,000 to for them just to open it up
Yeah.
and fix it.
Oh,
And listen, we paid that $3,000. Sam helped me financially on it, and because of that
oh,
$3,000 now, the world get to hear Healing Room that has struck millions of views. and millions of streams.
Let
Yeah.
me, the healing room, ladies and gentlemen, do not play the healing room when you're in public, like in the supermarket, because you will cry. People are going to wonder what is going on with you. And what's
Right.
so amazing about it is, I would say about 85% of the record is in Creole.
Right.
I don't know Creole, but it proves that the anointing transcends language. Like you can feel, besides the fact that you got some of the most anointed singers on there. Shout out to everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sophie, you know what you're doing. But what was the spiritual preparation like before the healing room? There had to be something.
Yo, you know what? I'd be lying to you if we said we were fasting, we were reading our Bible, we were. What I saw in the healing room, God gave me the ability to see everyone's journey.
Wow.
So everyone's journey was their preparation.
Wow.
Everyone's journey was, because sometimes we put God in a box even when we schedule things. Like someone said to me recently, he was like, yo, after this, the church is going to have a revival after COVID. I said, you're still lost. If you think the church will have a revival, you lost. The revival already started. So I always say, if you're watching, you missed it. It's when you're in it, you're like, I'm going. You know what I mean? So, I appreciate you. People are saying it's powerful. So the preparation was everyone's journey. And this is the best part. The whole night wasn't rehearsed.
Jackson, stop lying to me on my live. Stop lying.
And let me and for me to really mess you up, and I'm gonna prove this to you. Gino that came at the end and sang, he wasn't even supposed to be on the album. That's why he only sang 30, 40 seconds. Gino didn't know if he could make it because he was supposed to be out of town working. To the point, if you go watch the video again, Gino didn't have the uniform. Everybody was in plaid. Gino was the only one in all black.
Yeah. Oh. No rehearsal.
No, and I'll tell you this: even when we play live now, we're 50% no rehearsal. Why I say 50% is because there's another percentage that we try to come up with. Like we work out to be in sync, but the average bridging the gap every night. There are most of the night. That's why I always say the shows are fresh. They feel fresh, everything, because there's moments that I leave, which is part of it, which is called free fall, which I let you go. You know what I mean? Some artists, some of the ministers, you'll see more of, because maybe in that season, God is trusting them with that free fall, because that free fall is big. It's a big time, and it's like, go for it. And it allows people to go. And I'll be honest with you, so and sometimes the reality is a lot of things you just can't rehearse, You can't rehearse the move of God.
You can't rehearse Holy Spirit. No, sir.
No, you can't rehearse that. You know what I mean? We just look to be prepared to give the best that we can. I always tell my musicians, and you'll see my chats where I'm like, go practice. Practice on your own. Like I practice. Work on your vocals on your own. Practice. Get better. Push to be better. And when you do the free falls, these things, the natural of what you've practiced will show itself.
Yes. Wow. No rehearsal.
No rehearsal.
So it's 2020. You've been at this for almost 20 years. You can fill out venues. You have traveled international. You've traveled the world. You have a beautiful family. You got cars. You got houses. You got jets. You got sprinters. Life is all good.
That's hilarious.
What moment? Take us to the moment where you had your breakdown, because I know we've spoken about this personally, and I know you want to share your testimony. So at what point did you say, what the hell am I doing, God? Why did you put this on me, God? What's going on?
Oh man, number one, that moment happens more often than it doesn't. One, because there's so many, every stage, understand that there's a new level you trying to understand what this is. Right. Yes. Then like this year was this was the year where I was like, yo, Jackson, one of the things you got to get rid of is validation. Looking to be validated, looking to get a pat on the back, looking to be, if you in this room and this person says you're good, then you're good. if this person says you're all right, then you're all right. You know what I mean? Again, my, you know what I mean, I've had lots of breakdowns where I was like, I can't do this. Even this year, right before the album, and that's when God personally asked me to go. I gotta go deeper with Him. He's like, I
Mm.
gotta go. You gotta go deeper with me. It's like, it's at the end of the day, you know, God was like, yo, honestly, God was on some. You on the plane, but Jackson, now I need you to come sit next to the pilot. Like,
Yeah.
come sit
Love
next.
it.
Like, come see the bigger picture in this. Come, because
Wow.
and honestly,
Wow.
if I've never, if I had this about money or about anything, I would have left this long time ago. I would have
Yeah.
left because the reality is it's tough, it's rough. You know, here, so my doctor homie in here, you know what I mean, which is one of my sponsors, investors that will come and help me out. And she's heard, you know, stories and what times where, I'll give you an example. One time, you know, after you selling out rooms, you never want to start over as a musician, as an artist, to be honest with you.
Right.
After seeing, you know what I mean, you know, whether it's thousands or hundreds in a room, I feel, or this is better yet, being at capacity always. You never want to go to a room where there's barely anybody. I remember I went to North Carolina, and yo, man, this was last year. I was like, oh man, new territory. I was like, gosh, here we go.
Right.
And God was like, Jackson, you gotta remember how you started, why you started. You never played for an amount of people. You played
Mm-hmm.
because I showed up, and I thought I was gonna leave
Mm.
in a deficit. And I left with someone sowing a $6,000 seed.
Ooh, my God.
And that $6,000 seed, you know, helps me with everything. And here comes the part people don't know. You know, one of the biggest things, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, I take care of everybody that's part of this bridging the gap, and everything falls on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it
Yeah.
comes to, specifically financially, when it comes
Yeah.
to, you know, working on the music, my whole guys is helping. But financially, it's, man, let me tell you, it doesn't matter if the concert was a fail. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter if no one
Mm-hmm.
shows up. Honestly, for the most part, not everybody, but the people that I have to give something to,
Right.
maybe because their husband or their wife is waiting on, I gotta cut them a check, and hopefully
Yeah.
the money's there. There's times where I'm like, yo, listen, your PayPal won't hit until next week, or your cash won't come until next
Right.
week, because
Right.
I gotta wait on that transfer, and
Yeah.
not a transfer from the concert, a transfer from, because my restaurant probably made money or my studio making money. So literally you're eating from things that you had nothing to do with.
Right.
But with me, as long as it's, so for me, I want you people to understand my vision is for bridging the gap to make me rich or wealthy. My vision is for me to have wealth so I can do whatever it takes for the bridging the gap. And the bridging the
Amazing.
gap is not only about us, it's about a Terri, it's about a Daniel Lewis, because the vision is bigger. That's why recently, if you saw, I've had the Walls Group and Phil
Yes.
Thompson, and
Yes.
one of the things, you know, one of the things I did at the last concert, which, my wife was like, why'd you do that? You know what I mean? And you was at the Phil Thompson concert, right?
Yes. The
Okay,
last event before the quarantine was the
right.
full concert. What a blessing.
It was so dope. And what I did is I asked how many Americans we have here? And it wasn't that too many people that was there. And it's
Right.
like, cricket, cricket. And I
Right.
did that purposely, Terri. And the reason why I did that is because sometimes, even as artists, I'm not saying he tweaked his own horn, not at all, because Phil Thompson's an amazing man. You know what I mean? Sometimes I want to show the people, sometimes you want to know who's supporting this.
Yeah.
I want you to realize it's the Haitian American and the Caribbean, because there are a lot of Caribbean people in there, like yourself. My man Asher was there, Leslie. Where, yo, bro, like I'm building how can I say, a new thing, a new lane for my Caribbean American Haitian people, because even the African community's popping, but not here. They're popping in Africa.
Right. And the
Here, they're
UK.
still doing
Mm-hmm.
things like cookie cutter.
Right. Yeah.
Technically, they're
Yeah.
still doing cookie cutter things.
Yeah.
So for me now is bridging that gap of spirituality, education. So the vision is
Yes.
so much bigger than just music. It's food, it's agriculture, and I'm using, and as you can tell, as you mentioned, Sam and Jeff Landor and all the things we've done,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to build hospitals. I would love to do like pretty much like what Youngblood done, what
Yes.
Floyd Flake done, things that's bigger
Yes.
than us. Music.
Yes.
Let me tell you guys, music is a vehicle for me to do my part in the world. You know what I mean? And key word is
I
not
feel the same
save the
way.
world, but do
Yeah,
my part in the world. Because none of us will save the world, but all of us will do enough that can help save the world. So my
I love
job
it.
is bringing you know enlightenment to people, and say, yo, I want people to know who this person is. You need to own a pharmacy. Don't open a pharmacy in Brooklyn. Go open a pharmacy in Ghana. Go open a pharmacy in Haiti, in Jamaica, whatever
Yeah.
that is. The whole idea is showing a bigger vision.
And that was one of my questions. What's the bigger, what's the bigger picture? So thank you for going into that. We only have a few more minutes left. If somebody has a question, please post it. Don't be offended if I don't pick a question. I do screen the questions because we have a few more minutes with this amazing man, and I still have a lot to ask him. Right, Manu said this is deep. This brother is deep. I have so much respect for you, Jackson, and I know you know that. And one of the reasons that people love you, Jackson, is because you were so real and so controversial at the same time. And I tapped into your live the other day, and you were going off about, you said something interesting about the difference between CCM music and the difference between like our cultural gospel music. And I just want you to touch on that just for 45 seconds if you can. My son is playing basketball. Ezra, please.
I love it. I'm like it. One of the biggest things I'll throw at you guys in the little time we got left is I realized, number one, when it comes to the CCM, they focus on, God's love.
God,
He's
not the rap.
amazing. Hallelujah. And I get it. Hallelujah. And on the gospel side, we're like focused on prosperity and sometimes the wrath of God. Growing up in a Haitian church, it was like, don't wear this because God's gonna chop your head. But it's just like, yo, where's that balance that shows you his love, but it shows you he has a wrath too? You know what I'm saying? And for me, focus on his love and but understand the wrath is there, but there's a deeper topic behind that. But there's no
Yes.
time for it. There's a question I see. There's a question. You want to see that?
Do you feel like you received the recognition from the Haitian community you expected?
Oh, that's a very good question. To be honest with you, my dad taught me my dad that you see going viral, Papa Chery.
He's funny. God bless your father.
My dad's a clown that came to town. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you this. Number one is I'm not looking for it. Because the day I look for the recognition, that's the day that I might be discouraged for real. Because our community, we have a big way of celebrating people that had nothing, had that maybe. I remember one time, and I'm not gonna mention the name for defamation of character. Is I came to New Jersey, I came to a city. I'm not gonna say the city. There was a celebrity that received a key to the city.
Okay.
A Haitian celebrity. Then I asked my boy that is part of the council, why the hell did she get a key? What did she do with the money? No mind what she did for this key. Who did she feed? What programs did she open?
Wow.
He said, yo, I'm trying to figure that out too. I was like, and it's deep because I realize sometimes we do things just for the sake of brand. So to answer your question again, I'm not looking for it. Of course, as a human, when someone does something, it's encouraging. Yo, Jackson, thank you. You know what I mean? Let's be real. My followers on Instagram doesn't reflect my numbers. I'm currently streaming about 1.7 million a month right now. And so, but I believe I have quality followers though. Quality supporters. Because some people, I need 1 million followers. Yeah, and 500,000 adults. I don't need that. I need quality people with impressions that's gonna comment, that's gonna help. I have people, when I do my lives and say, yo, I need 100 people with $5, I will get 100 people with $5.
Yes.
Versus 1 million people and half of them are just watching. Will I get more followers? Possibly, but any follow I get, I have to understand, you have to fall into formation. This is a Jesus thing. You know what I mean? I might talk about Sage. I might talk about anything. Understand it's gonna be real. It's gonna be pure.
Indeed. Sorry,
That's
my coffee. In the time we have remaining, I want you to answer two questions. I want you to give some advice to independent artists. And I also just want you to give some encouragement in this season that we are in, the COVID-19 season?
Listen, number one, independent artist. Number one, plan. Whatever you do, plan. Number two, do it with passion. Let it be a passion project. Let it be a Papa time with Papa Chery. That's funny. I got to screenshot that so I send to my siblings.
Oh, that's your father, right? Oh.
Things according to the numbers only. Okay. And remember, when it comes to and another thing that messes us up, branding is dope, but branding is not only a dope logo. Okay, branding is not only how your name is spelled. Branding is also who you are in your absence. Who do they say you are when you are not there? That's your brand.
Wow.
When you in and out of season, does your brand stand? When you and a word of encouragement, I encourage you to get to know yourself. Believe it or not, even in this time that we're here, even in the time that we realize that, oh shoot, yeah, I'm home, but believe it or not, you're still distracted while you're home. Get to know yourself, and if you plan, even plan yourself into getting to know yourself.
Jackson Chery, ladies and gentlemen, this is why he is so awesome. Seriously, I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Thank you for everything that you have done. Thank you for representing your culture, your community the way that you do. Thank you for representing God the way that you do. Your obedience is what I believe has brought you all these blessings, and I still believe you have even further to go. So may God continue to richly, richly bless you. I didn't plan to say this, but really, I have a lot of love for you. And please don't stop, because you are, I know you know, but I'm just going to remind you that you are affecting the world in your worship, everything. Guys, if you have not heard the Healing Room, the Bridging the Gap project, please get it on YouTube. It will bless your life. And there was a part 2 that came out.
Yeah, facts.
And I can't wait for this all to be over to get to experience another concert with you. So thank you so much.
And you'll be opening up, so that's vibes.
Come on,
right
Rona.
There.
Can you go, Rona, please, so I can open up for Bridging the Gap? But I love you so much, and thank you again.
Love you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, have a good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in with Music Mondays with Terri Cann. Tune in again next week, 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Lit. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, now let's get the fun started.
Ezra, baby, I love you so much.